Today I fucked up by putting garlic inside my vagina. Obligatory, this didn't happen today, and apologies for any mobile formatting issues. I'll make this as short and sweet as possible, although not sure sweet is the right adjective. One afternoon I felt like I was getting a yeast infection in my lady garden, my foof, my penis flytrap, my downstairs mix-up, thanks the mighty bush, whatever your word of choice for vagina is. But I thought it doesn't feel that bad. It might clear up on its own, or I'll get some over-the-counter thrush medication on my lunch break at work tomorrow. NBD. Narrator, but it was a BD. Around midnight, when all pharmacies around me within walking distance had long closed, I realized the problem was worse than I had anticipated. I'll spare you the gory details, but I need something immediately for my vajayjay. So I googled home remedies for thrush, and I come across an article from the depths of hell itself, aka Mumsnet, that suggested inserting a piece of garlic inside your fandango, the logic being that adding garlic directly to dough will kill the yeast. I'd never thought of my whispering eye as bread dough before, but I was truly desperate. So here I am, legs akimbo, inserting a piece of garlic, with a string tied around it, into my downstairs, hoping to God that it doesn't get stuck so I don't have to explain why I've basted myself like a spring chicken to a doctor. I do the deed, and then something really strange starts to happen. I can actually taste garlic. So of course I think I'm going mad. But I do a quick Google, and some other unfortunate people had reported the same thing. And apparently there is some kind of link between the mouth and the vag. Scientists of Reddit, get at me with an explanation for this. Then I slowly come to an even worse realization: how often am I tasting my own vagina? Anyway, needless to say, the garlic did not work and actually made the thrush a whole lot worse. And now I have to go on with my life tainted, no pun intended, with the knowledge that at any moment I could be tasting my own hoo-ha. TL, doctor, I put garlic inside my vagina to cure a yeast infection, made it worse, and came to a soul-crushing realization about tasting my own pooter. I've done the same exact thing. I'd never had one before, and it was truly wretched. I read the same damn information but didn't have garlic on hand, so I thought fuck it, garlic powder is basically the same. Spoiler, it is not. Same results. You're not alone, buddy. You taste garlic because its flavor molecules are small enough to enter the pores of your skin and travel upstream through your blood. You can achieve the same effect by rubbing garlic on your soles. Considering how garlic specifically causes this on different parts of the body, there probably isn't some strange mouth-vagina link. Changing sub to TIFU. For the love of all things, people need to stop taking hygiene advice from Gwyneth Paltrow. Good thing you didn't crush the garlic prior to insertion, it can cause chemical burns on external skin. I'd imagine it would be a lot worse on mucous membrane. Yep, it was an all-round bad idea, my guy. Desperation clouded my judgment. Today I fucked up by ruining a guy's first time. Obligatory, this actually happened a couple days ago. So I've been hitting it off with this guy for a couple weeks, and we finally decided to meet up and see what happens. I already knew I wanted to have sex with him, but he's never had sex before and I didn't want to pressure him into doing anything. So we hung out without any preconceived notion of what would happen. He did decide though that he was ready to try things out. Great. Sort of. I have what's known as vaginismus, which basically means I'm too tight for penetration occasionally, to varying degrees. Sometimes sex is straight up off the table, sometimes it's just uncomfortable for everyone, sometimes it's no issue at all depending on how relaxed I am. This fateful night I could tell it was a bit tighter than normal, but I felt we could still at least get his virginity jitters out of the way and get more comfortable with each other for next time. Warned him of this ahead of time and let him know that sex might not be very fruitful tonight, but that I'd be down to see where trying takes us, and that if it wasn't happening it wasn't his fault. He agreed to give it a shot with no expectations. Once again, Great. Once again, sort of. When I took off his pants and underwear and started going down on him, I noticed he must have had phimosis, basically an excess of foreskin which prevents the head of his penis from escaping the shackles of his foreskin. Not a problem, he seemed to still be enjoying what I was doing, and I didn't think it would cause any problems. At this point I was feeling confident about penetration. I asked if he was ready, he said yes, so I got on my back and guided his dick inside of me. I felt a bit tight still, but it went in easily enough, and he got to work. He was doing great for his first time, but a couple minutes in, I could tell he was feeling a bit uncomfortable. Worried I was too tight after all, I asked if he was doing okay. He said hold on. Pulled out, looked at his dick, and his face dropped. I sat up, looked at his dick, and apparently the tightness of my vagina and his motions combined pulled his foreskin back over his head for the first time in his life. He wasn't even sure what he was looking like at first. Unfortunately, the end of his foreskin wasn't so elastic that it could just go back over his head. It looked like it was really constricting his penis, and his head started to turn a dark purple like it was bruised. He started freaking out at this point a bit. Even when he lost his erection it wouldn't easily go back over. After several minutes of us massaging his foreskin slowly back over his head, we finally calmed down, thankful that his first time didn't result in him losing his penis. We laughed and had a good oral session later that night, but next time we planned to take more precautions given our combination of circumstances. Too long didn't read. I almost ripped a guy's dick by having too tight a pussy. Edit, received a correction about phimosis in the comments. Apparently I was slightly misinformed on what it was and don't want to contribute to misinformation, so here you go. Phimosis is having an excessively tight phimotic band. Not excessive amount of foreskin. Basically the foreskin cannot be pulled down to expose the glands because the phimotic band is so narrow and tight it cannot expand to let the glands out. Also the foreskin being stuck behind the glands is paraphimosis. On another note, the amount of people commenting making fun of this poor guy for probably having a smelly dick because he doesn't wash under his foreskin is upsetting. He has a medical condition that prevents him from pulling back his foreskin. It hasn't been a choice to not wash under there. That said, it didn't even smell differently from many other penis I've encountered, though he did say he'd talk to a doctor about it and see if he can work on it in some way. Haha, yay. I had phimosis, wondered in my very early teen years WTF was going on. All the courage in the world finally had me tell my doc. Doc causally says 2 ways to go about it. First is quick and you can walk home. We put a needle in your penis and then a quick snip. Second option is we put you under and you spend the day but need a parent there. Needless to say I went home and told my dad ASAP. Ha ha ha. Haha, I love the too long didn't read. That's not good. It sounds like he had an acute episode of paraphimosis. He needs to see a doctor before this happens again. Next time it might not reduce spontaneously. Paraphimosis is far worse than phimosis as you can lose your dick with para due to ischemia of the head of the penis. Seriously this op. He's very fortunate you were both able to spontaneously reduce it. Paraphimosis is no joke. I misread the title as name instead of time and this story made no sense to me. Lol. Good on you for not making him feel weird about it. Also good on you for being pretty well educated on both you and your partner's anatomy. You'd be shocked how many people well into their 30s are just completely in the dark about their own bodies, let alone any potential intimate partner, both men and women. Today I fucked up by experiencing the most horrifying pain imaginable. So, back when I was 13, I had a small packet of shampoo laying around. Being a dumb 13-year-old, I decided to empty all of it into my urethra and pretend I'm a porn star with thick ropes. It was around 30 milliliters total, and it burned like I just shoved the sun into my dick. But instead of my dick disintegrating, it just felt like it was. Obviously I try to pee it out. It somehow makes it worse. Horrifying pain squared. Now, I'm stuck in an conundrum. Hold my pee midstream and wait to die of natural causes, or pee and die of pain? I thought option 1 was better. I'd rather not explain why I have shampoo in my dick to my family and hope the mortician doesn't tell them when I die. But after an hour of holding it in, my bladder started hurting bad. Then I had the genius idea. I'll just electrocute myself while peeing it out and hopefully my brain ignores my burning dick. And it worked. It was still horrifically painful, but I'm alive to my knowledge. Too long didn't read. Shampoo plus penis equals agony. How do I unread this post? Stick lotion in your dick. Imagine being stupid enough to put shampoo in your urethra but smart enough to make a fucking taser out of a camera. That's level of teenage boy intelligence. Source was 1. That's enough Reddit for the week. It's okay op. When I was around 10 I stuck a soccer ball pump in my dick and tried inflate my penis to make it bigger. I still have intermittent pain with peeing 20 years later. It did get me this sick flare on this sub though. We can be dick brothers. Excuse me, a soccer ball pump? Please explain how you got shampoo into your urethra. I'm trying to picture how that works. Also, how exactly did you electrocute yourself? Cut a little corner out of the pouch, put the edge in, and squeeze. A homemade taser thing I built out of a disposable camera.